I'll give it one more minute.
Here comes Jim Brennan.
Jim Brennan, yeah, 10 o'clock. All right, the time now is about 10 a.m. by my clock. And I'll have roll call. We're looking on the side there on the panel here. I see Lee Rivas is there. Greg Gomel is there. Jim Brennan is there. Kitty is there. Holly is there. Earl is there. And we have, is Sarah on? Not yet. Jim Cunningham? Not yet.
Sarah's entering right now.
Oh, Sarah's entering right now. What about Jim Cunningham or Larry Wallace?
I do not see either at this time.
All right, those are the ones who are absent. So those who are here are Sarah Henley, Lee Rivas, Greg, Jim Brennan, Kitty Myers, Holly, and myself, Earl. Thank you, folks, for coming in.
Good morning,
We have our
everyone.
roll call. Do we have any public comments today? No, item number 3, so real quick.
Hi, Earl.
Yeah.
Jim Brennan.
Okay.
Could somebody, I'm on my phone and I'm not going to have enough power to stay on this line. If somebody could email me the link, Zoom link here, if there's password, I'd like to get on with the, on the laptop, which I can plug in.
Yeah, can you send them the email again that you had? Maybe I can send them on my phone. Oh,
Zoom, no,
I'll
just email me a link.
I'll do that.
You got, okay, Angela's doing it. We'll wait a second till you get it.
Thank you.
We got a little time now because we don't have any public comment.
Y'all go ahead and proceed if you want. I'll stay on until this link comes up on my laptop.
Okay. So again, officially, we don't have any public comment, Angela.
I have not received any requests for public comment.
All right, that puts us all the way down to agenda item 4. We really breezed through this. Angela sent us out the copies of the May minutes. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes?
I've reread the minutes, and I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Second.
Okay, all who approve? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any nays? The minutes are approved unanimously. We'd like to introduce item number 5 there. We have our new committee member, Holly Morrison. Holly, wave your hand. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name's Holly Morrison. I'm from the state of Missouri, so I'm a Missouri veteran, United States Navy. I did 7 years active duty, 3 years active reserve. I married a Marine. He's a Massachusetts veteran. So we moved down to Texas because of the oil industry, and we've been here 31 years. I've been helping veterans in the Veteran Services Office at San Jacinto College for about 5 years now. I'm the manager of Veteran Services. Before that, I had about 12 years in the admissions office at San Jacinto College. I'm a real advocate for higher ed and did not know how great Texas treats its veterans till I went in the veterans office. I'm a VEEP veteran, so I pretty much pay for my own education. So I'm just grateful and humbled to be on here, and I'm looking forward to helping out any way I can.
Thank you. Thank you. Have you seen our bios, Holly?
I haven't. No, I haven't taken.
Okay.
I attended the last meeting, and I did look at how the meeting, but I haven't seen the bios. No.
Okay, we'll do a quick round robin of the people who are on. Tell Holly a little bit about yourself. I'll go by the list I have. Sarah, can you tell Holly a little bit about you?
Sure. Hi, Holly. My name is Sarah. Well, it's Sarah Maxon now, but not everything has changed yet. It's like a nightmare trying to get everything situated. So, but that's my new last name. I am really excited you're here, Holly, as someone in education too, because I'm the director of the Veterans Resource Center at Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center. I'm the school certifying official. And so I'm excited to have another education person. Yeah. I'm about work.
I'm a
Okay.
I'm a Navy veteran also,
Yeah.
and not originally from Texas. But I hear
Ah.
I'm supposed to say I got here as fast as I could. So I'm from Pennsylvania, though. I grew up in Pennsylvania, lived in New York a while, joined the Navy, met my ex-husband there, and he's a Lubbock boy, so that's what brought me here.
Right. Next one I got on my, what about Lee?
Good morning, Holly. I'm Lee Rivas. I spent 24 years in the Army, retired and continuing civil service. So I have a total of 42 years. Out of those 42 years of service, I did 38 years in Washington, D.C. with Earl. We were both stuck there. And I'm a veterans advocate. You know, I'm a TRIP graduate from the VA program and help veterans with their claims, and very happy to do that. And gotten a few veterans up to 100% and others to acknowledge the VA to acknowledge their VA service-connected disabilities. So I'm happy to continue in this program, and I'm glad that you're here to help us out as a Navy veteran, and hopefully we can expand our services to our veterans here in the state of Texas.
Okay. Ray, you're up.
Hi, Holly. Great to have you here. I'm a retiree from Coast Guard. I originally came from Florida. I started a nonprofit with a friend of mine to help train veterans and their spouses and how to become Agile Scrum Masters. Currently work with the University of Texas system, heading up the project management office, and I serve in Collin County as one of the trustees for Collin College. So again, appreciate more folks that are also in the education arena.
Jim. You on? Jim Brennan?
Yeah, I am. I'm trying to get this link up. I just said, Angela, just email me the link. I'm messing with the screen on my laptop, so I'll
Yeah, we'll skip you, then come back, give you a chance.
come back.
All right, Kitty.
Hi there, Kitty Myers from San Antonio. It took me 3 times to make San Antonio finally my home, and the 3rd time I've been here for 30 years now, so I guess this is it. I am a retired Air Force, which is what brought me to San Antonio the first time, and I said I'd never come back again, but here I am. And that's after OTS in 3 months, July through September. So you can see that was enough to say, no, not again. But anyway, here I am. Retired Air Force, also long career in the civilian industry in human resources and especially the hospitality industry. Retired 10 years ago. Now I'm president of the Alamo chapter for AMOA, the Military Officer Association of America. And on the side, I help folks transition, provide transitioning, consults, what do you want to do when you grow up? That type of thing.
Yeah,
Plus volunteering in all sorts of different areas. Welcome aboard.
This meeting is being recorded.
Okay. And I'm Earl Newsom. I'm the chairman for the committee. Been on this committee, and previous to this committee, I was on the Veterans Communications Committee. I'm a retired Army Medical Service Corps officer. My last job with that, I was executive officer, Walter Reed Army Medical Center. I took 2 weeks off and started working for the VA 5 miles down the road.
Let's do that when Jim's done with it. So hopefully stopped. I muted one of his.
Okay. Yeah, I took 2 weeks off after retiring, started working for the VA. 9 years at the VA hospital in Washington, D.C., then went to VA central office, working medical operations. And my last 10 years there, I was deputy director for the Center for Minority Veterans. Retired in 17 from that, moved to Richardson, Texas. And then last week I moved back home to Houston. So Greg, it ain't much enough room in Collin County for both of us. I moved back to Houston last week. And okay, Jim, can you talk now?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Am I good? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Jim Brennan. Okay, I'm not on screen. Anyway, I've been on this committee or TVC advisory committees for almost
Jim?
15 years. Yes.
I'm sorry, sir, but for the open meeting, can you work on trying to get your camera on real fast?
I'm looking at it right now. Hold on.
I think he switched to the laptop because I got.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
There he is.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you,
That's
sir.
a new requirement for open meetings, isn't it? That you don't really need to see me, but that's okay. Anyway, I've been on this Veteran Services Advisory and Employment and Training Board previously for almost 15 years. Currently, Texas Coalition of Veterans Organizations Legislative Director, and also American Legion Post 76 Commander here in Austin, over there on Lake Austin Boulevard. So I've been doing veteran advocacy work for a long, long time, 20 plus years. Former Army medic, brought me to Texas, stayed here, went to the University of Texas, and been here ever since 1970. So although born in Maryland, I'm a Texan here after 50 some years. So
You still like crab cakes though, right?
absolutely.
Okay. All right, that's your roll call, and this is your group, Holly, that you're part of, and we welcome you. And you, I think everybody told you what city they were in too, so you kind of got an idea. We're from kind of far flung around the state. And again, Angela has the open invitation. If you guys want to go up the road with me like that and come down here and have yourself on the camera here, feel free to do that at the next meeting or future meetings. All right, so down to agenda item number 6, Roman numeral 6, TVC Commission Outreach Department, presentation and discussion on proposed campaign for outreach, targeted outreach to veterans over 55. I guess that's you, Angela.
It sure is. I'll try to talk here, but I'm gonna have to get up one more time to scroll down on the screen here. So met with my team and we made an outline here for this campaign. Think of me. So we've got some potential names for it. You can see there, we're looking at Lifetime Peace of Mind, Veterans 55 Plus, Texas Veteran Service Connection, Lone Star Veteran Connection, supporting Texans Veterans 55 Plus. Whenever we do a marketing campaign, it's a good idea to give it a name so that it has brand unity and so that it's recognizable to folks. So the goal is, of course, to list services for veterans and survivors over the age of 55, which will include TVC, Veterans Land Board, the VA, as well as any others. We've already compiled a lot within our agency, and I had the VLB send me their information as well. We are proposing to launch this as a 3-month campaign in January. We're always very busy right through basically November because of our Veterans Day. Next month is all our FBA grants, which we're doing until mid-October, and it's just gonna be a busy time. So that gives us enough time to try to get a cohesive look. We're looking at our campaign design elements first, which is gonna be a flyer. So we're gonna try to keep it really brief because the whole idea is that we can literally do a 1-page flyer that tells people what we're trying to do and directs them, to the website to find more, but something that could be hung up in actual, in person. Because in our team discussion, when we were talking about especially trying to reach a 55 plus. Obviously, we want to do social media and all that as well, but it's important to do actual in person. So, we're going to try to get this out as we discussed with our VCSOs, our MVPNs. I'll get into more of the list of who all we're going to try to get it into physical offices as well. But anyway, so the flyer is kind of the heart of it, something that, again, can be printed and also used on social. We're also going to find the best spot that we can for it on the website. We have a resources page, which is probably going to end up being the best place for it. But we want to make sure that we decide somewhere that people are going to know where to go. We're going to have, something on the slider, a website button or image that is going to link people to it there. Looking at a social media graphics bundle, which are templates that we can use. It's basically just redirecting folks, to look at these pages and these resources. And finally, a banner. And that banner, we're about to unveil ours for the Grants Across Texas. We're going to have one for our Texans Ask campaign, which is a mental health campaign. And then, of course, this. And again, that's just a way to brand and market it. We can put it on our press release, our website, events, etc. Media outreach, we'll, of course, do a press release for it, and we'll do some targeted media outreach. So reach out to some, reporters individually in some, especially our smaller newspaper markets, because they're most likely to pick it up, as well as we have a monthly segment with KXAN. So it's probably a good opportunity to put it on one of our KXAN ones. We have our podcast, The Voice of Texas Veterans, so we'll put it on that. We're also in 3 iHeartRadio clusters across the state of Texas. So any of those podcasts that Julia on my team does, she also sends out to those clusters. And then our eVets newsletter, which has a distribution of over 145,000 veterans across the state. So it's got a good reach as well. On the digital media side, we're going to look at, again, having campaign posts with basically a graphic post every week for 3 months. We're also going to look for 1-minute video veteran testimonials. Julia, she's great at doing our interviews for the podcast. She's going to be searching for those for us. I'd already mentioned that website slider, because when you go to our webpage, there's a slider, and that's one of the ways that you can bring attention to some of the higher profile things that you want people to look at the same time. I already mentioned the resources page. And then finally, this one, more than some of the other campaigns we do, we're going to focus on partner outreach in particular to try to make sure that we are reaching, folks who aren't necessarily super digitally connected. So we're going to work on distributing our materials through our VCSO network, through our claims department. We're also going to be looking at our Military Veteran Peer Network Peer Service Coordinators. That's through our VMHD department. They're all co-located in different places. The mental health authorities for MVPNs and our VCSOs are in various places. Also, of course, our TVC staff. One of the things I want to start doing, period, for more, but this is going to be a good launch for it too, is to try to get our staff to post this on the boards in more places, because we're co-located. A lot of our departments' claims tend to be in the VA office. Our employment staff are in the workforce solutions offices across the state. So again, that's just a way to reach someone, is if they're literally walking into an office to see a flyer. We're going to ask the VLB to put it in their state homes, of course, and they're already aware of the campaign. So, they're always great partners with that. And then we also want to be able to get this to some of our assisted care homes across the state. I've been told, I have not been able to find it yet. I haven't searched, but that there is an association for assisted homes, the type that are for profit. And so seeing if we can get a hold of that. Would you mind admitting Larry into the meeting? Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and try to get the association to push it out as well to those assisted care homes. So we think that will help. So that is what we've outlined as our outreach campaign. Do I have any questions from anyone?
Any questions from the group?
I think I was primarily concerned with, a lot of the people that weren't social media connected or digitally connected, but she touched on that. I think that's a great layout you have right there. Good job.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's a good job too. And as an old dude who was in the restaurant yesterday, and she said, see this thing there, put your phone there and you can see the menu. I knew how to do it.
I don't want to do it, right?
No, but I bring that point with the flyer. One of the things, they have a QR code
Right.
where somebody hits that. Yeah, she said, yeah, because I was looking at it yesterday. I'm 73 years old and you tell me there it is there. But I'm thinking, you're just making the assumption. I know I'm 3 blocks away from the university, but I'm thinking about the grandkids and the spouses and all that. That'll be good. This is really good. Question, later on, somebody's gonna ask, well, what did you get out of this? Whenever you do a campaign like this, I'm thinking about the people putting their claims in and stuff like that. I'm assuming that when they help people with their claims, they see the period of service, which kind of gives you an idea of the age. So I'm thinking that on the tail end, after you do all this, is there going to be a way where you look at hits on the website or claims that's done that you can see whether you had more people coming in expressing interest?
And you're correct. One of the best ways we're going to be able to tell as a metric for its success is the website. Because again, when we put it on a resource page, we're going to be able to track the increase of those. So for example, we had a whole campaign with our Military Veteran Peer Network. So we sent them to the VMHD website. And normally that website ranks about 38, but after our campaign, it went all the way up to the number 8 page on our website. So, I anticipate that as a way. We also have ways, of course, to track our newsletter opens and all that. I'd have to talk with claims if they had a way to do that. I don't know that they feel that they could differentiate necessarily. They see such a high volume of people, but on our end, we can measure our metrics through the website, through social media, through newsletter.
Yeah, and that's again, because I don't know how many meetings I've been in where you do this stuff, and the guys who are the bosses say, well, how do you know you did? Yeah, what do we get out of that? And that's the only other thing where I was mentioning, maybe in the claims guys, I'm not looking at setting up a new block where somebody checks off, but I'm thinking that when you on the VA stuff that's on me, it always has what period of service I was in. So that kind of backtracks you. Anybody, Vietnam or Gulf War or older, you could probably get, where you have an increase thing with that. That's be one of the things, how you gonna go back and check.
I can ask claims if that's something they could track for us for the 3 months of the
Yeah,
campaign.
because I see somebody asking you that later on, you guys did all that, did it help anything? That was the only thing I had. Any other questions?
Yeah, well, I'd like to make a comment on that because I really think it's important, and your points are really good ones. Over the years, so many things I've seen as far as outreach is concerned didn't include the component to measure the effectiveness of a particular effort. And that is so important to make sure we're reaching people that need to have this information. Take a step further. Obviously Earl and I are in the same cohort as far as age is concerned. I think you and I do pretty good as far as keeping up with it, Earl, but there's a lot of veterans out there that age that don't have access or don't know how to do it. And I was wondering whether we have made an effort or are looking at identifying caregivers, whether they be family members and or outside family caregivers that would be helpful for them to have information that we're trying to get out to the community. And if there's any, I don't know where where the contact information might be available, whether TVC has something, VA has something, and whether it's accessible or not. But I think that'd be a good additional way to get word out to those who might otherwise miss it.
Right. And the other question I have, because I was looking at the Harris County website, the Harris County has a veterans office and the city of Houston has a veterans office. In the past, we talked about making contacts or a letter going out to the county judges. Do you guys have a formal organization that your TBC has that where it meets with county judges or sends stuff out to county judges?
Not that I'm aware of, but the VCSOs are kind of a direct link exactly for that, so.
Yeah, because I noticed, again, that's another foot soldier out there for you. Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you. That takes us down to item number 7, follow up on the discussion on the Veteran Entrepreneur Program and the thoughts and planned actions based on our recommendations that we submitted back in May. Here we go.
All right, so I will just go through each one. For the record, my name is Megan Temez. I am the director of the Veteran Entrepreneur Program. And we are responding to the recommendations from May 15th of last year that were provided during the last meeting. Number 1, acknowledge process improvements, veteran verification letter process subcommittee recommendation. We concur with these 3 recommendations of all inquiries are now filed through the website. We concur with recommending the shutdown of the email contact point to avoid adding any additional requests via the route, though communications won't allow it. So we are stuck.
Okay.
The person blames in the room, sorry.
All right.
Develop responses automated or directly to requesters acknowledging the application with a case number. With our current, we agree with this recommendation. To do it though, our system we're constrained due to financial abilities within a very small budget.
I can understand that. Can you use our recommendation to go to whoever the bean counters are to say this, something like that outside people recommended and we concur? Maybe this helps you when it's time for a budget review?
Yes, we will be using these recommendations for that.
Okay. So it's just not you pleading your case.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Communication subcommittee minutes. Number 4, all inquiries are now funneled through the website. Modify the program to provide an automated confirmation of receipt with an account or client number that can be used for reference for any further communications. This will assist both client and the staff with easily accountability and access for additional inquiries. It will also eliminate duplication of calls. We concur with this. Again, due to our budget restraints, we currently don't have the funding to make that happen. Number 5, consolidate the mass of documents available on business startup operations into one single guidebook. This will eliminate duplication as well as gaps, divide into easy to follow sections, populate with additional resources. We agree with part of that. So we have separate guides based on the topic that the veteran is requesting. And keeping them separate, somebody with a TBI for more, if I am provided too much information at one time, I'm easily overwhelmed. I've overcome that over the years, but we find that in talking with veterans that are just coming out of the military and may have similar injuries, that giving them all the information at once is very overwhelming for them, and they put it aside and never move forward, and that gives us a bad name. So we're working on a roadmap that will be, they can click on it throughout the process and see each of those guides in that process. And we will also be working with them individually through each step,
So it's
providing them.
kind of like an in-time request. When they get ready for it, then they can hit it.
Yeah,
Okay.
or when we get to that next step in that process, then we provide them with the information. Yes, sir. Number 6, define and clarify metrics for success. TVC strategic plan for entrepreneur outlines the following methodology: prioritize and develop metric for success, and then it's listed resource information, seminars, business plan support, business startup formation, capital acquisition, marketing, business expansion, government contracting, copyright and patent support, and veteran verification process, including logo. We concur with this recommendation. We have already, last year when Kitty was over the board, we went ahead and reduced our services available, show it to minimize confusion. So we took out copyright and patent support, and then capital acquisition from services that we directly provide, and we created a referral tab because we don't provide capital acquisition to entrepreneurs and we cannot do a copyright, and so we mark them as a referral so they know that we'll be referring them to a community partner or government agency that can best assist them with that. And then trademark the logo to provide better clarity and recognition. We started that process 18 months ago and it's still under review. So we're just waiting on the final say when that comes back. Website recommendations: provide notice of length of time between application and query submitted and anticipated time of contact with the agency representative. Example, current time for response is 75 days. Put this on in bold, update it. So this has been resolved. A has been resolved. We have not had a 75-day wait for over a year now. We came out of that shortly after the information was reviewed by the committee.
Okay.
And we have a 7 to 10 day processing time. We typically respond within 3 business days to the veteran, and then it's waiting on them to provide the additional information that is needed.
Okay.
Provide a process letter noting that the application has been submitted, can then be used as interim. There is no way to do this, so we do not concur with this recommendation. C, initially develop a 2-track process, one for verification letters, existing business, and other for new startups. This will allow staff to be assigned to each, thus providing quicker service as they focus on customer requests. We are a very small 4-person state, 4-person program assisting every veteran entrepreneur in the state. that makes it very difficult for us to do something like this two-track process. But what we have done is we are in the process of testing an update within our online database. And one of the new questions is asking if they are a new business owner or if they are currently in business, which will help us assist them in a more timely fashion. Again, there is only 4 of us, and we are working on a 7 to 10 business day turnaround. Do you have a question?
Yeah, any questions? You've got one more point, then we can open up. Go ahead.
Create the page that lists by category veteran-owned businesses, those seeking veteran-owned businesses, then have a resource to access support that supports those businesses. We do not concur with this recommendation on the basis of there are multiple veteran business. Like we have the veteran business Chamber of Commerce. So there's the Houston Veteran Chamber of Commerce, and on their website they have a integrated map that anyone can click on and find a veteran-owned business. We don't have the capability to do that and keep up with them. And so we're gonna put this back to the Veteran Chambers of Commerce that do this around the state.
Okay.
And we do direct our veterans to those Veteran Chambers of Commerce to get to integrate into the community that they're in. San Antonio has one, Houston has one, and Dallas are the 3 big ones. And then on the Houston Chamber website, they actually reach across the country. So they take in any veteran-owned business that wishes to be on that map. And the new recommendation, put the state comptroller contract bid opportunity process on the website. I do not concur with this recommendation either, or the sole purpose of this information is readily available on the state hub site, and that is a one-on-one opportunity that we have with a veteran business owner to work with them through that entire process. And if it's readily available on our website, we're going to miss that opportunity for talking with them, learning more about their business, and maybe helping them with something that they don't know that they even needed assistance with.
Okay. All right. I have a couple of comments, but I'll wait for the body. Questions, comments?
I have a question about eligibility, informing these veteran-owned businesses that if they are owned by a service-disabled veteran with a 20% disability rating or greater, that they're eligible to register as a hub business in the state of Texas. Is that in any way communicated to people applying?
Applying for their initial veteran-owned business when they're performing?
Just to let them know that they're applying for certain things, but after their business is up and running, their eligibility is what I just stated, so that they're aware that they are eligible to register in the Texas Hub program.
I believe it's in our new updated contracting guide that with all the processes that recently changed. And then again, it's on the state on the Hub website. So we are communicating that with veterans that are wishing to go through the contracting process.
Okay.
Anybody else? Okay, I'm used to working in a system. Lee was one of my committee chairmen when I was working with the VA. Remember, we work in an advisory role, so they have a choice of concur, non-concur, concur in principle. And we've heard that, so don't take it that if she non-concurred that we were bad boys, bad girls, and had dumb ideas. They have to work within their constraints. But I will say with 20 years in the military and 23 with civil service, one thing I've noticed is that when you were saying we don't have the funding or the staff, what we've helped you do is validate unfunded requirements.
Correct.
In the military, those of us who are ex-military, you remember doing manpower surveys. You justified your bodies by being able to go through this process and show your boss, this is what we could do now. And then with additional fundings, we could get this staffing. What I noticed with 23 years in civil service, there probably ain't much difference at the state. You kind of staff the budget. So, it's kind of like, you remember the years where they bought all new furniture in August because they didn't want to not spend the money. And I think it's a trend in civil service that you staff to the budget, and it gets hard for you to do your job when you like you're saying you got now. We could do this. It's not a bad idea, but we don't have the funding. So I think that with your permission, members, when I brief the commissioners tomorrow, I'll let them know we were briefed on this and that we basically have identified some unfunded requirements that they can use with the Veteran Employment Program. Because I think they could, how many people do you service a year?
Yeah, so I just did some data. I pulled some data yesterday, and so far this year, we've served over 10,000 veterans. I have 5 full-time employees available for the whole, including myself. Currently, we have 1 position that is out. We're looking for a business consultant in the Houston area, so if you know anyone. And then I do have an exceptional item request in. I requested 7 people, and it's going forward with 3. So we're happy that it's going forward with 3. But
yeah, so you see where I'm coming from, ladies and gentlemen. We've helped her. It's not just her saying, boy, I wish I could do more. We've done our job with helping find some unfunded requirements. So I think that's another purpose of this group. We're fresh eyes looking at the system. And remember Napoleon's Private, those of you who heard that story, that Napoleon would have the orders that go out to the field, so they bring Bubba in. He said, if he can understand this, everybody will understand it in the field. I looked at it, if we could sit here from our various backgrounds and identify these shortfalls that could use some funding, surely if we could identify it, and she concurs that they'll give us some more money. So I'll bring that up as an unfunded requirement. I think marks a little bit more review from TVC to help her fund out some more of these positions. That sound okay? You give me permission to do that? That good? I see head nodding. Okay.
That's a yes.
Okay. All right.
we did have, Angela, I don't see the additional questions. Are we?
I thought those were attached on there.
They're not. I did answer the additional questions that were on there, if you want me to go through
Go
those
ahead,
as
sure.
well. If applying to the SOS to set up a business takes 75 days to get a veteran verification letter, will the veteran be reimbursed from the SOS? If not, the veteran will be forced to wait 75 days. So like I said, the backlog is no longer, but we have a process in place and walk the veteran through the reimbursement process if they did not know about the benefit available to them. And we probably have 30 of those a month that we assist through that reimbursement process. And we make sure that the business is eligible and request all of their documents prior to going through that process with them so that it flows smoothly and they're not waiting. Their request at the SOS is processed quickly, but to receive the check, it takes about 10 weeks. The veteran verification letter process, acknowledge process improvements. We concur with this. We have a 7 to 10 business day with a response within 3 business days. And then recommend shutting down the email contact point. This one, I believe, was through we were still having people send emails to the SB 1049 email address. I checked with communication or IT, and they have, that email has been shut down, so those emails are being returned to sender undeliverable. But then we've also established that connect with a business consultant page. We are in the final process of getting that updated, and we're testing, and here in the next week or two, the veteran will be able to upload their documents to the website. And so that will cut out 3 or 4 emails back and forth and waiting. So it will then cut down our wait time even further. And then develop response automated directly to requesters acknowledging the application with case number. We don't have the funding for this, but hopefully in this next step, we'll be able to get it.
And we make it there at the top.
Oh, we already went through it. Okay, well, anyway, you got it.
Okay. Any further questions for her, comments? I've got one for you.
Sure.
Remember when I was in the military and worked in civil service, well, more in the military, when it said the IG was coming in, the IG was checking the regulations to see if you followed them. You said you were a bad boy, a bad girl, if you didn't. Our process is not that. Ours is to use our various backgrounds and expertise in different areas in the military as a veteran and all that to see if we find things that can enhance the services for us fellow veterans out there in the state. So we work for that. How has this been for you to see our observations and see whether it gels with what you thought or brought up something you hadn't seen? How did this process, looking at our recommendations, work?
This was a frustrating process for me. Not that I didn't take your recommendations and like them, but knowing that I needed something, i.e. money or people, and I don't have that. And I wish I could do more with what I have, but I don't. And so working with what we have, we just have to make the best of it, and refining our guides. We're putting more pictures in our guides to help guide the veteran through that process. And getting our department out to the veterans and letting them know that we are here. Angela's been a great help with that. We did a TV interview, and we're posting constantly to the website and Facebook, social media. Knowing that these recommendations were from last year, and we've done so much with the program, I feel like I've been at a stalemate with the committee. And so
we had the time lags and all that,
yeah. If these would have gone through right when y'all presented them to me, I think the process would have been much more enjoyable for me.
Gotcha. Yeah, and again, I appreciate the work you've done with it, and I think you could tell we're not doing this as a gotcha. This, and I think that's good. And I think for our team here, that it does again go back to our purpose. You know, when you look at our charter and our purpose, we're supposed to help identify shortfalls and identify places to enhance. And I think we've done that with these unfunded requirements. That's what they told us to do. They didn't just come and tell us to come in and say everything is roses and butterflies and all of that. And it's not a gotcha thing. It's us saying how we feel that we're being served as veterans here, and how we think we can help improve services for other veterans out there. And you know, we're the birds, with the parakeets in the mind. You know, hopefully, because we are the ones that benefit or don't benefit if the services are being done. So TVC has this body out here, us, to let them know how we feel. And I think it's been a fruitful requirement. A requirement that's being satisfied, and that I'm gonna do my damnedest tomorrow to let them know that you're doing a good job, but you can do better if they give you some more staff. And then again, I don't know what your process is to do like a manpower survey or show unfunded requirements. But if nothing else, you've got a documented thing here that's Pearson and minutes that we came up with some recommendations as some outsiders reviewing it, that you would acknowledge that you could like to do, but you don't have the money for it.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Earl.
Yes.
Hi, this is Ali. In regards to the UFER, I believe maybe some homework needs to be done between now and tomorrow to let them know that, give them a number of manpower that you need. You know, one to start off with or two to start off with a salary of, you know, of so and so. So at least the commissioners know that, okay, maybe we need to allocate another 75,000, you know, another 150,000 for one or two more personnel. At least give them a number so they can go back, not just tell them that we need more manpower, because more manpower, you know, you don't have a number.
Mhm. Okay, I'll kick that around. I'll talk to her on the break to see if she's got something for me to go.
Yes.
I'm leery about a specific number because then they say, where you justify it, but I think the overall, I understand what you're saying, give them a target, so I'll try to give them.
Right, give them a target.
Mhm. Okay. All right, now we have a presentation on the Women's Veterans Program. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks again. Oh, not there.
You got the good director of the program.
Yes, Crystal is on there. Just gonna go ahead and share screen.
I love that logo.
Thank
Who did your logo?
You know what? This is actually one of the employees in South Texas did this, and I cannot remember his name right now, like 4 years ago.
Oh, you don't remember
And
because it's a guy
I
doing the
don't
women's
remember.
logo.
It's for TVC, and I stole it from him, and then it kind of like spread like wildfire throughout the agency. So, but yeah.
Texas has such a cool flag. You can do it lends itself to t-shirts and all that.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. It's showing with two screens. Did you, with the presenter view, did you want to change it?
You guys know while in the break, Angela's been putting us on YouTube. The last meeting was on YouTube.
I have been.
How was it?
Did you know that?
No.
I was messing around. I said, wait a minute, who's this bald headed guy with I said she had the whole meeting on YouTube. Glad I was being on good behavior.
I love it.
And about 2 weeks afterward, we had more hits than the commissioners.
Yeah, you did get a lot. There you go, Crystal.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So good morning, everyone. I'm Dr. Crystal Matthews. I am the director for the Women Veterans Program at Texas Veterans Commission. Thank you so much for the invite this morning. I'm just going to do a pretty brief overview of our program, but if you have any questions, don't hesitate to stop me, or you can put them in the chat as well. So for the Women Veterans Program, our mission is to ensure women veterans of Texas have equitable access to benefits and services. Next slide. I think you need to go. Yeah. So because Texas is huge, we have the program or the state broken down into 4 districts. And so that would be North, South, East, and West District. Again, I'm the director of the program, and we have 4 women veteran coordinators. Catherine Smith is our coordinator for North Texas, Sharon Stewart for South Texas. Our East Texas women veterans coordinator position is vacant as of the 1st of this month. And then our West Texas coordinator is Melissa Hartcrow. Next slide. So our program duties, they come specifically from the Texas Government Code. It's to provide assistance to Texas veterans. And I like to tell everyone that is our first duty of the state. And it really is very broad, right? And so we meet women veterans wherever they are. They come to us for a lot of different reasons. And we also serve men in the program as well. At any given time, I like to tell everyone we serve about 30% men in our program as well, because they just, veterans connect with the agency, Texas Veterans Commission, and then, whoever they happen to get on the phone or in person, that's who they work with. And so we work with our male counterparts the same way we work with the women counterparts. So Again, providing assistance to Texas veterans, women veterans, performing outreach to improve awareness of benefits and services that are available to them, assessing women veteran needs. We do that through a lot of different ways. That could be surveys, and then also town halls, reviewing programs, research projects, and other initiatives that add to women veterans needs or assist with women veterans needs, make recommendations to our executive director, currently Mr. Palladino, and then incorporate women veterans issues into commission planning. So we're closing out the fiscal year and then this month at the end of the month. And so we've already did some planning for FY 2025. And so including that and incorporating, anything that we learned from this FY into our next planning, and then also the commission's planning moving forward as to how we're going to serve women veterans of the state, and then collaborating with state agencies to provide that information. Next slide. Advocacy and public awareness, benefits, fairs, engagement boards, local groups, and that could be veteran group coalitions. They could be official or unofficial outreach events again. So veteran benefit fairs, resource fairs, employment fairs, you name it, local church group fairs, and it's just like local resources. We're there trying to engage with women veterans, trying to tell them about what it is that we can help them with here at Texas Veterans Commission, what Texas Veterans Commission can help them with. And so just getting out in the community, providing that public awareness, advocating for women veterans wherever we're needed. And then social media. We currently have 2 different platforms that we engage women veterans on. That's LinkedIn. We have a Texas Veterans Network group on there, or Women Veterans Network on there. And then we have a professional network on Mighty Bell Network. And so we're connecting with women veterans however we can connect with them. Next slide. Collaborations. This is just a few of our ongoing collaborations. Dress for Success Austin. We've been collaborating with them for many, many years, where they didn't have a women veterans program initially. And so now they actually have a program, but we still collaborate with them quarterly. We just had a virtual event last week on Purple Heart Day. And so with that being said, during those events, we reach out to women veterans in the Austin and Killeen area to come to the virtual event or in-person event at Dress for Success Austin's location to do resume review, mock interviewing, and then also they're able to get suited. So they're getting suited for searching for work, or they've just started a new job. They can get connected with other programs within Dress for Success Austin, where they can continuously come back and do networking with other women and women veterans, and then also receive more clothing, professional clothing for their career path. Texas Veterans Land Board, we are always collaborating with them. I think we just did a resource fair this past weekend and with them in Tyler, if I'm not mistaken. There's a lot of them coming up as well. And then Department of Veteran Affairs, with the Department of Veteran Affairs, we partner with them on an ongoing basis within the Women Veterans Program. We are partnering with the VA Women Program Managers, making sure that we're able to refer women veterans to them and they're able to refer women veterans to us. Next slide. Research and dissemination. So we participate, the Women Veterans Program, in research, and that could be the university or the school is conducting research where they would like to interview the staff members of the program, or if they would like to interview women veterans or veterans in general of Texas Veterans Commission. And then that is a process. We have to run it through our leadership to get approval for. A lot of times they reach out to us to share the research. And of course, that is voluntary. So we do share that with veterans in case they would like to participate. College student assistance. We have a lot of college students. Majority of them that reach out to us are veterans, and they're looking for assistance with their research. And so their research is about veterans, and it could be a lot of different things. It could be something like veterans education level, career fields. It can also be on a suicide rate of veterans. So a lot of different topics, but veterans tend to reach out to Texas Veterans Commission for assistance with their research. And again, we do share that. I haven't had a lot of veterans that reach out that want the Women Veterans Program specifically to participate, but we did have one veteran that reached out for that, and we were able to participate in that research.
Crystal?
Yes,
Quick
I'm here.
question.
Mhm.
How often are you seeing any of these folks reaching out saying they want to do a dissertation as part of their PhD program and are looking for help?
So we used to have maybe like 3 or 4 annually, but now it's maybe about 1 to 2 annually. And I think it's died down since COVID. So I don't know if there's if veterans are going to school and they are not necessarily doing their dissertation on veteran specific topics, or if we don't have like a high enrollment of veteran students that know to reach out to Texas Veterans Commission for that assistance.
Yeah, I was just thinking like Lisa Adams, who used to be here at UTD.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and myself for my doctorate, I didn't. It was not veteran specific. So, but if it were, I would have definitely said, "Hey, I got a lot of resources available for
Great,
that."
thank you.
But yes, no problem. So for the Center for Women Veterans, any research that they're conducting, they reach out to us as well to participate in that, and we share it with women veterans so that they can get the information that they need from women veterans in the state of Texas. We share the information on our LinkedIn group, which is the Texas Women Veterans Network, and then the Mighty Bell Network, which is our Women Veterans Professional Network. With that, we're able to share research where, veterans, or it may not be a veteran, that are doing veteran research or anything that's related to veterans in general, type of research, we share it on those platforms so veterans can be aware of the new research that's available. Next slide. Education, again, educating women veterans and community partners and the general public on various topics to women veterans. And so we do a lot of different things. We do workshops, seminars, conferences, and we go to resource fairs. We're asked to speak at a lot of different events as well. So most of those events that the women's program is invited to speak at would be women veteran specific events. We do have veteran events that are like, hey, it's Women Veterans Day is coming up. You guys come out, talk about this particular topic, or they just want to learn more about what it is that we do here in the program for Texas Veterans Commission. And then we leverage, again, our LinkedIn group and our professional network to take opportunities to share information and educate women veterans on different things that are available to them, things that they may not be aware of. And that could be a resource or a benefit, new legislation, all of those types of things. We're able to leverage, different types of avenue or different types of resources to be able to educate women veterans on different topics. We do a lot of meetings / workshops through the program, and we do them virtually. So our program works virtually anyway. And we increased our reach to women veterans during COVID because more women veterans were going online to get information about resources, which is great. But now we're kind of this area where, okay, do we want to do more in-person events, or do we need to continue doing those virtual events? But we're kind of trying to get into a happy medium where we are still doing virtual and we are scheduling in-person events as well. We're partnering with our, community partners, veteran service organizations, county service officers to also provide those in person. If there's any events that are in person that we can piggyback on to provide information as well, we're there. So we're trying to always, advocate and educate. So next slide. One of the ways that we honor and recognize women veterans throughout the year is June 12th. So I like to say it's Women Veterans Day, but now it's more Women Veterans Month because we are super busy throughout the month of June from the beginning of June to the end of June now with Women Veterans Day events, the ones that we host and the ones that we go and support. We also co-host and help plan other events, across the state with other organizations. If you don't know much about Women Veterans Day, it was signed into law back in 2017 by Governor Abbott to be celebrated June 12th. And so our first event that we actually got to celebrate as a state with like service organizations was in 2020, or it was in 2018. And we did a event at the state capitol, which was really great. Lots of organizations was there. And then in 2019, we did a Houston event where we live streamed it on Facebook. So we had, different groups of women veterans across the state that hosted in-person events where they live streamed it together. And then they also had additional resources available at those events. 2020 was the pandemic, so we did have to switch our focus because we were planning an in-person event. And so we created a Women Veterans Registry, which we still have now. And then we still have Women Veterans Registry for that, which is amazing because they get to go on this registry, put a little information about themselves in a statement of why they're proud of their service. And that lives on. And so anyone can look at that registry. They can share that registry with family members. And we plan to continue to have that forever. So it's just another way that we continuously honor and recognize women veterans of the state. We did a tribute slideshow where women veterans were able to email us, a picture of them while they were in the service, and then also a current picture. And it was just basically highlighting the women veterans across the state and their service in the military, which was really cool. And that's still up on our YouTube channel. So if you want to see that, please check it out. And then we did a virtual community event, which was really, really nice. We had a lot of different organizations that serve women veterans on that particular event to be able to speak about what it is that they do and how they can help. And also it got women veterans connected to their local communities. In 2021, again, we did a virtual event. It was a Women Veterans Networking Mixer, which was really fun because a lot of women veterans and other attendees said they had never been to anything like that, a virtual mixer. It was similar to like speed dating, but with resources for women veterans. And so that was really cool. In 2022, we were able to do a Women Veterans Day 5K at Camp Mabry in Austin. And then in 2023, we did a Women Veterans Service Project where we partnered with Operation Gratitude, and that was in San Antonio. It was really amazing. And then this year, we did the first time we did this from the program. We co-hosted 4 separate events across the state, which was fun and exhausting. I was able to attend all of them, but yes, we were able to do that. And we also co-hosted other events to help plan other events across the state. And I think in total, it was probably like 20 events that we participated in to include the 4 events that we initiated and planned and co-hosted with community partners. But yes, so June 12th is Women Veterans Day. We are always going to do something, around that time to celebrate women veterans and support other organizations to celebrate and honor women veterans. But I think moving forward, we're going to try to do things around like that, not so focused on June 12th from the program, just because there are so many organizations that want to do things then. So our program will, plan events throughout the year because we definitely want to make sure that we're honoring and recognizing women veterans, all year and not just that one time of the year. Next slide. Another way that we honor and recognize women veterans is through local celebrations. We have organizations that reach out and said, hey, we're going to honor women veterans, at this event. Do you have any way that you would like to honor them? Or is there anything that you can provide us? And with that, we would provide like women veterans coins to be presented. And then certificates. So I can submit certificates for women veterans that they would like to honor to our executive director, and he'll, if he approved those, then we can provide them with certificates of appreciation from the Texas Veterans Commission. So those are always nice, and those are other ways that we honor and recognize women veterans and for the work that they're doing in their local communities. Next slide. our community outreach campaign. So we are tasked to do a community outreach campaign. It doesn't say how many times we're supposed to do it, but since I've been in the program, which is a little over 5 years, we've done a community outreach campaign annually. We have 5 different topics that we can center the community outreach campaign on. And with that being said, we generally touch a few of those each time we host a campaign. So every year, those campaigns, provide the information to increase awareness. So things that we things that we kind of do on a daily basis: improve access to benefits and services, increase participation in other women veteran programs, as well as ours, provide information on significant contributions of women veterans, and then provide information, increase support groups and organizing of related to or organizations related to family services. So anything that women veterans would benefit from really can fall into this category for our community outreach campaign. And you'll see on the next slide that we've done a lot of different types of events. Next slide. Some of our recent campaigns include a video and Facebook ad campaign. One of those was to have women veterans say, hey, do you need assistance? Have you been connected to Texas Veterans Commission? Have you been connected to the Women Veterans Program? And then they were able to input their name, and I want to say just their email address. And from that, the program, we followed up with all of the women veterans that entered that information. And then what we were able to do was one-on-one appointments, get them the information and the resources they were seeking at that time. And I think in that particular one, we engaged over 800 women veterans. And so we sent out initial emails. If we didn't receive a response back, then we did phone calls. So that was a really nice campaign. We also did, another one where we focused on single parent resources and peer groups. Over the years, women veterans are always, looking for a camaraderie, ways to connect with other women veterans and women veteran peer groups. So that's always something a hot topic. And so that particular campaign focused on single parent resources, and then to include childcare. And peer groups. We did women veteran spotlights for the district, and that was just a woman veteran who was one woman veteran per district who was still giving back to their community. So they were still serving after their service. And then we did a virtual community outreach via districts, which was virtual. And we had an hour for each district where we came on, we talked about, hey, this is what the Women Veterans Program does. What do you need help with, and what else do we need to implement from the program? And so we hosted one per district to give women veterans across the state enough time to come on and give us information about their needs. And then this year we spotlighted women veterans who reached the rank of 07 above in the military, which is an amazing accomplishment. And so that video is still up on YouTube as well, if you would like to view it. But yes, we had great response from that. Women veterans saying, hey, how can I get recognized now? So I think, moving forward, we'll do a lot more videos or short clips that we can share about women veterans across the state that we're honoring and recognizing. Next slide. So now we're going to switch over to Women Veterans Report. So the Women Veterans Report is due to the governor, lieutenant governor, and the legislature no later than November 1st of every even number year, which means it's coming up this year, and I'm working on it. I'm working on it. So the report includes just a few things. They want to know about the women veterans population of the state, the number of women veterans that sought assistance from Texas Veterans Commission, the number of women veterans that obtain assistance from Texas Veterans Commission and a few other state agencies, and then unique issues of women veterans across the state. And they also want to know any recommendations to address these issues. So this year so far, we in the program held 3 town halls to collect information directly from women veterans across the state, so we could implement that into the report because we want to hear from the women veterans. We also shared a report, or not a report, a report survey for about 3.5 months for women veterans to give us feedback. And, the survey was specifically, about the services. So the services that they saw in the past, that they currently need, and then about obtaining those services, that they received this assistance they needed. And then they were also able to give us feedback, give us information on what else they need or what are their unique challenges, what they have in the local community, how they would like to be contacted. And so we're working on that. Next slide. From the 2022 report, the top 4 unique challenges were healthcare, VA claims assistance, entrepreneurship, and financial assistance. So with those particular challenges, we were able to assist women veterans relatively easy because, we have a healthcare advocacy department we were able to connect them with. And then we have a claims department we were able to connect them with to assist them with their VA claims. And then we have an entrepreneurship program that we're able to connect them with. When it pertains to financial assistance, we were able to get them with our grantees that receive grants from our Fund for Veterans Assistance grant funding program. So it was pretty easy to meet those unique challenges. I will say, though, financial assistance, if they're in a rural area where there are not any grantees or there's not a lot of resources like financial resources through nonprofits or grants, then it is challenging for that particular part. And so I'm always advocating for unofficial veteran groups to form your veteran group and also form a nonprofit so you can, request funds to assist veterans in your local area. And then recent common requests. So if you've visited our website and you've clicked on Connect with a Woman Veteran Coordinator, then we have several reasons to contact the Women Veteran Program. And within that, it could be other assistance. So the other assistance is something that's not listed on that list of services, right? So that would be more than likely something that's not from Texas Veterans Commission. So it would be something that we need to refer them out to. And that could be to another state agency, federal, a nonprofit, veteran service organization, or a community partner. And it could be a private partner as well. So that would be what the other assistance is. The second top request for this fiscal year is women veteran networking. So they want women veteran peer groups and women veteran networking, trying to get connected. The other top request is community resources, referrals, and then housing assistance. The housing assistance is rent and mortgage. We've seen more rent than mortgage assistance requests, but those are some of our common requests. And just to give you guys a little bit more information on the survey from the Women Veterans Report for 2024, the needs, the unique needs, they shift a little from healthcare, VA claims, entrepreneur, and financial assistance to childcare, legal, mental health, and women veterans peer groups. So I kind of see it like, lining up with our common requests that we're receiving in the program on a daily basis. Next slide. So some of our upcoming goals. We're always looking to engage and serve women veterans with recent feedback. But I think one of the things that we've been looking at lately is how we provide services and then engaging the women veterans. So via the virtual and in-person meetings and events, I've noticed that there's a decline in attendance for in-person and virtual events lately. And so we've been really big in the program on trying to really engage and stay engaged. And so we've been hosting monthly events. So some of our events are we're gonna shift them from monthly to quarterly. So to hopefully, keep that crowd of women veterans who are looking for services engaged. And it's not overwhelming for them to be, always having something going on. And then providing services and sharing information with veterans. So looking back at how they would like to receive services or how they receive them, a lot of them are on social media. And I feel like our communications department does a really great job of sharing information with veterans, and anything that we share with them. I know that Angela and her team are always on it. They're sharing it. Oh, thank you. They're sharing it. But, yeah, a lot of them receive information not specifically from email lists, but from social media. So trying to shift how we're able to provide services and share information with women veterans and how we're engaging them is going to be one of our goals for FY 2025. And again, with that is assessing the local resources and determining the best method of how to educate them about those services. A lot of women veterans are not, Texas is huge and we're growing. So we have a lot of women veterans that are relocating into the state and they don't know about their local resources. Now, you guys know it's probably like 10 jobs trying to keep up with the resources that are available and if they're still current, but we're going to try to do a really great job of at least assessing like local resources specific to women veterans and then kind of coming up with a list to be able to share with women veterans so they're aware of those local resources. And then also not just when they connect with us sharing those, but how can we educate them on those local resources that is not overwhelming as well? Another thing that I may want to touch on is it's hard to really come up with a great time for women veterans because a lot of women veterans are still working or they are mothers. And so they're like busy, doing one of those jobs. And so we've tried events every day of the week. We've tried virtual, we've tried in person. So, really finding a good time. So I'm thinking like, if we're not able to do in person, like we want to make sure that we know how to get the information. So they're not, something as simple as going on our website. Sometimes I find that is challenging for women veterans. So making sure that we are able to get the information to them in the best way possible is something that we're going to be focusing on this FY as well. And then the last two is something that's always one of our goals is to create or strengthen our local, state, and federal partnerships because we know we can't do this job without them. And we want to make sure that we're staying connected and being able to better serve women veterans that way through our resources as well as theirs. And then encouraging women veterans to self-identify as veterans because when they do, that allows us to serve them better because sometimes there are women veteran specific programs that we can refer them to. As opposed to, a general program for the public that may be able to, have funding specifically for that need. So encouraging women veterans to self-identify more is always one of our goals. Next slide.
Hey, Crystal, just had a thought real quick. Are you able to access data from DPS on individuals that identify themselves as veterans?
No, I'm not able to, but I can always follow up to see if there's any way that we can get access to that.
Because that way, to your point of folks moving into the state, obviously getting a new driver's license, have the opportunity to identify. So if DPS could let you know if they identify as female and as a veteran, you've got some more audience members available.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that would be great. And you know what's so funny about that? I have my team's always like shocked, like, yeah, I met this woman veteran at this event this weekend. She's been here for 4 years and she's never heard of Texas Veterans Commission. And I'm like, I've been with the agency for over 10 years and I've never ever been to an outreach event. And trust me, you guys, I've been to a lot of them that I haven't met one veteran that said they never heard of Texas Veterans Commission. So, it's word of mouth, it's, our virtual presence on social media and our newsletters and just, sharing the information. But yes, if I could get access to that, that would be amazing because that would be a great way for us to connect with them. Hey, you're new to the state. Here's what, here are some benefits and services that are available to you. Don't hesitate to reach out if you need additional. So yeah, that would be great. Thank you for that. Yeah, thank you for that. The ways women veterans can get in contact with us. So disclaimer, women veterans contact us all types of ways. Our email address is available on the website as well. So they email us, they call us on our work cells, and they also fill out the contact form on our website. And then we offer virtual office hours. So we offer virtual office hours every Wednesday, excluding holidays, from 8 a.m. to 10 I was going to say 10 p.m. No, not all day, guys. 8 a.m. 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. the veteran can just go on our website, click on the Zoom link, and it takes them to our virtual office hours, and they jump on and they speak to the representative that's online that day. And so Catherine Smith, our North Texas coordinator, she was on the line this morning. We used to offer it from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., but we had more attendance from 8 to 10. And so the other 2 hours were just really, really slow. And so what we did was we shortened it this fiscal year to 8 to 10. And so that's available. So if you know any woman veteran, she doesn't have, we do provide one-on-one appointments, but she doesn't have to wait. Say, for instance, it's a Tuesday night and say, oh, you know what? TVC offers virtual office hours in the morning. So if you want to talk to someone ASAP, jump on their virtual office hours, every Wednesday, 8 to 10. And they're able to speak with one of us and we can help them, quickly. But again, when they do our Connect with the Women Veterans contact form, they're able to, select one-on-one appointment. And then another thing is, no matter what they select, we send them an email or call them or both, as we do both. And then we, if we don't call them or get them on the phone, we send an email, and then they're able to let us know if they want to do a one-on-one meeting. So we do a lot of one-on-one meetings, and we do have timeframes each day to do that. Monday through Thursdays is in the afternoons. And then on Fridays, because a lot of our community partners that provide grants in financial assistance, they kind of wrap up early. So we, this fiscal year, we switched it to morning appointments for Friday. So we would still be able to get women veterans connected to the services that they may need on that Friday. And I think that's all, you guys. Again, this is our map. And any questions?
Any questions from the group?
Oh, I didn't take too long.
You guys are doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Karen, Crystal, thank you very, very much for the outstanding briefing you provided. Angela, if you could provide this briefing to us, this presentation, I would really appreciate it. That way I can share it here within the VFW of San Antonio.
Absolutely, we'll do.
Any other questions, comments? Dr. Matthews, got a question.
Yes.
My last 10 years with VA, you heard me say I was deputy director for the Center for Minority Veterans. So my office was right next to the Center for Women Veterans. We actually did dual presentations. We were founded under the same law. I was interested in the point that you said to have women veterans identify themselves as veterans. That's still going on. I know my generation, it is.
Yes, sir.
I was kind of surprised because when you went to Vietnam era and earlier, they really had a problem with doing that for various reasons. One thing I will tell you as an observation, dealing with spouses. We talk about awareness of veterans benefits with spouses, but I can't tell you how many times I had the World War II, Korean War veterans, spouse that did not know. And most of the time, this was the female spouse did not know she and her husband could be buried in the VA cemetery, that he could, get help in the VA hospital. I helped 2 friends get their family members in the new veterans home in Houston. Big old thing there. They didn't know it was there. 5 miles from Michael DeBakey. I bring that point to say one thing in the 10 years I was shoulder to shoulder for the Center of Women Veterans that I never heard anybody discuss was the awareness of VA benefits and all on the side of the spouses of the women veterans. Because in many cases, the spouse was not a veteran. And because of different things, the machismo thing and all that, they didn't want to talk about that veteran stuff. So I will bet you there's a large number of male same-sex spouses of women veterans that aren't aware that when that woman veteran gets sick, that she could go over to the VA hospital, that they're out there buying that cemetery plot from Dignity and all those places out there that and even when I worked with the Office for Survivor Assistance, it was always you were hearing about the World War II, Korean War, Vietnam wife that didn't know what to do with her husband there. So I would tell you, I think there's a gap out there. When you talk about the awareness, it's not just the veteran awareness, but I think it's probably more intensified on the spouses of women veterans, that they aren't aware of those for 2 reasons. What they can get as a spouse and also what they can get in time of need from assistance from the VA or TVC for that
Mhm.
veteran spouse of theirs that they didn't know, they could get help with this and help get with that. And have you ever heard any of that discussion?
No, I haven't. But yeah, it's a great point. We do, I still see a lot of, male veterans at events and they have their, spouse with them and the spouse is getting information. And a lot of times they say they didn't know this or they could do that. But I rarely see women veterans with their spouses at events. Yeah, getting information. Yeah.
And I think it may be a thing when mom comes home and she talks about she's a veteran, she's got the license plate, but dad wasn't the combat veteran hero and all that stuff. They're not thanking him for his service, that they kind of tend not to look at it. So I think that's an opportunity for you. And I'll tell you the other thing, when I would do outreach at VA, and I did it about a month or 2 months ago with the Houston Police Department. When you say people aren't showing up at the outreach events, one thing that we did with our advisory committee, and when we would go out and do outreach, we would team up with veteran service officers and announce ahead of time that yes, we were going to be there, but people from the regional office or the county service officer was going to be there to provide assistance. And the big thing that they, so they could answer questions, but the other thing, especially like when the PAC Act was coming, where if nothing else, they would come there, answer a few questions, and let you file an intent to file. And start that effective date that day. So no, you didn't get time to file a claim and all that good stuff, but you got a thing to put the point in the sand that, okay, now we're gonna follow up at you, but the effective date of the payments is gonna be from this point. So, people go to those things when they say, what's in it for me? So if you got the claims, people who could be there, and if nothing else, answer general questions and do an intent to file and let people know that they can do that while they're there to start that process there. But then they got time to go back and get their paperwork and all that might help you with getting the input coming in on there.
Yes, we've done that. I'm just, you know what? It was actually, and I was talking to Miss Palladino and Chip, Charlie, and Sean about this recently, that I've seen a decline from in-person attendance, especially when it comes to certain, employment fairs or resource fairs, since maybe like 2018. And I don't know if maybe during that time we were just doing them too frequently, but then now I think that veterans know that they can go online to do a lot of things, so they don't necessarily show up for all of the events. And again, the attendance has dropped from in-person and virtual. So we are, for the last few months, it's been a conversation, and I've been reaching out to community partners. I've, not just our events, there are a lot more resources, so the service providers that are there than actual veterans showing up. So, I think it's just a time of trying to figure out how we need to serve veterans now. It may just look different than it has always been.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No problem.
Any alibis from the team here, from the committee? All right. Thank you, Dr. Matthews. Appreciate it.
All right. No problem. Thank you.
All right. Now is the time for us to talk about what we want to talk about at our next meeting, right? Agenda items?
Absolutely.
All right. I open the floor for recommendations for topics for our next meeting, which I guess will be, October. We're talking about November or what?
And by the way, really fast, if you want me to address the question regarding getting driver's license information.
Go ahead.
All right, so we are actually putting out an exceptional item to try to get a database management and outreach system that incorporates DMDC data, which we have acquired. The last couple of months, we have gotten all the permissions, all the necessary signatures, so we have that. And our next plan is to work with DPS, Department of Motor Vehicles, to get that as well. Again, this is a fairly large project, so we are going to be putting that. It's one of our priority items that's going on the legislative appropriations request. So I just want to touch on that real fast, because of course that would be a big impact for all of us here at the agency. Outreach, my department would oversee it, and we actually have a couple extra FTEs partially for that as well that are going into it. But anyways, yes, so it is definitely on our radar. In fact, we had an interim hearing with the Senate on it a while ago about where we were with the data management system, hence why we're doing that. So anyways, yes, because that would enable us to be able to determine dates of service, dates of separation, gender, and all those good things. So just want to
That's
mention
great.
that. And so we will be putting that, and we are discussing the exceptional items at our meeting tomorrow. So those will be on.
Thanks,
there.
Angela. Appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay. All right. Rick, any suggestions for topics for our next meeting? Don't beat me all up. Your wheels turning. I had two. I was thinking to see what you guys think, the ladies think. Get follow up on how the evening appointments are working for the veteran service officers. Because after our recommendation, they did the test, the unannounced test, and based on that, when they were filling vacancies, they hired 2 new people to do all virtual appointments for the evening and see how they're doing on that. That would be a follow-up to say, yeah, you guys told us this. We thought it was a good idea. We tested it. Now we hired 2 people doing it to see what the follow-up is. And that'll be for the meeting and for the record to let us know how that's working. And the other one, thought about the website. Well, they did a lot of work. One of the first things we did was look at the website. They made a lot of changes to the website. I don't know if there's any information to show how the number of hits that have increased since you modified the website.
We track our website engagement, yes.
Yeah.
So my press officer could pull that
So
data.
we could do that, because remember when we first started looking at that and we say, this is here and this is there. And they've done a real good job of doing that to get a little bit of feedback on how that's worked out, where, she said they got that tracking data to get some information on how the improvements on the website have increased the number of hits on it. That's 2 things I thought about. Those sound okay? You guys are so compliant. So I submit those 2. Do you want to do those 2? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? All right, we got 2 then. Follow up on the success or production on the evening appointments for the service officers, and a follow up on results of improving the website.
Happy to walk you through the website if you'd like that too.
Oh, she said she'll walk us through the website. That's cool. Yeah, that's fine. All right, we'll do that.
Then of course, date for next, I'm sorry, I failed to put that on the agenda.
Date for what?
The next meeting, if you guys want to come before. I'm sorry, I failed to put that on the agenda.
Yeah, for our next meeting.
Right.
Yeah, again,
Carl.
we're talking about, yeah.
Quick question. What are we looking at for our next meeting? Is it
Yeah, so
November?
we're talking about now, because we're August, September, October, November, because we meet the day again before the commissioners, that they announced.
And they announced the meeting of 2, so tomorrow they will determine it. And typically, they always seem to pick either a Tuesday or Thursday, and it's usually the, second.
Mhm.
Well, in this case, this was actually the 3rd Thursday of the month, so I would be willing to bet that it would possibly be the 2nd Thursday, the 14th. I think that's probably a pretty safe
Of
bet for what
November?
they'll pick, correct?
Okay.
So could we do the 13th, same time?
Yeah, looking at my calendar, yeah. 13th November, unless there's changes. Okay.
Earl, the reason I asked is we're going to have bills being filed as of November 1. So legislative update, what we'll be following, what'll be filed in the first 10 days or so of November will be a bunch of things. So that is probably something we want to at least allow some time for.
Okay. So it looks like our meeting before theirs would be right now, tentatively the 13th of November. And our 2 topics for review would be the evening appointments, review of the success of using the evening appointments for the service officers, and follow up on how the website changes have improved the hits, or just a review of the website. Okay.
Hey, Earl, I think also some of us are rolling off in December, so that'll be our last session. So did you want to start thinking about getting more candidates in?
Yeah, even more reason for you guys and gals to come here. That's-
Well, actually, and you're correct, because we do invite all outgoing members to address the commission right before their last meeting, so that would actually be the next one
Ah,
too, for our
here-
outgoing members.
did you hear that? So drive in on the 13th, we have our meeting and stay overnight, or drive straight in for the meeting with the commissioners on the 14th. So this is where they give us our gold watches and send us on our way. How many people roll off?
It's normally 3, but I think we're at 2 this time because of, Holly's replacement. I'll have to look at it. I have the records, but it's 2 or 3. It's always either 3, but it might be just 2 this time because of Holly. And our application period closes September 1st. We've had it open since the May meeting.
It closes September 1st, so we still got time if you know someone that may be a good candidate for them to submit their application, refer them to the website. Okay. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, folks. It's been a pleasure again. Maybe we'll see you in November. So we can
All right.
drink at the club or whatever. All righty.
It'd be fun to have some.
Thank you.
Look at
Guys.
YouTube. She puts us on YouTube. I don't know if you know that. I
Right.
was surprised when I saw it.
True, you're YouTube famous now. I'm gonna go ahead and stop this. Thanks, Crystal.